If you're a heat and nursing technician or even a salesperson, how do you counter unethical buyers in the negotiation process or unethical negotiation strategies, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Somerville, coming to you live from Sacramento, California, on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. Coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you the shortcut to two books, which I think are must-reads for anybody in sales or business. One of them would be Start With No by Jim Camp. Like one of the best books that I've ever read. I think I've probably read it 31 or 32 times by now. Listened to it more times than I can count. Number two, Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference. So Chris Voss, Taz Rawl, and Brandon Voss wrote this book. Definitely pick it up. Get it on Audible. Get both those books on Audible. Just, to help you out. So I've lined out like 20 points here. 20! So 10 times 2. 20. 20 different ways for you to deal with this. So like first and foremost is to trust your gut. There's going to be a point where like your brain just explodes and like time to go. Something's wrong. Like you're just going to say something's just not right here. Gonna go. Be willing to walk from a deal. It's probably one of the best strategies that you can have. But there is a downside to this. Every time you walk away from a deal, it gets easier because it's easy for you to hit eject now. You know what it feels like. So I'm going to say, hey, look, if there's shenanigans going on and there's some unethical stuff, call it out for what it is. Hey, look, I'd love to help you. We got to figure out what we're going to do about some agreements and conversations that we've had. There's a couple things missing. Love to have this conversation with you. Want to know if we're the right type of company for you. If we're not, cool, I'm going to bigly bounce. Okay? Be aware the person who says that they're good at negotiation probably isn't. They're the talker, right? I don't know how many times people have met like, oh, I'm a good negotiator, only to find out that they're not. What you need to be aware of and really pay attention to is the person who doesn't say anything. And you're going to be like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I feel like I'm getting taken to the cleaners and I didn't realize what was happening. So it's usually the person who's done a ton of negotiation a lot, and especially the person who's really unethical about it and has done it a lot. It'll be like a super charming event or really, really gruff and abrasive. It's either or. It's never like in between. It's like either just super smooth or it's a fight. There's no middle ground on this one. So it's the guy or the girl that doesn't say much or do much or talk about negotiation that'll typically surprise you. But you're going to know because they're going to hold back and withhold information most of the time, right? Just get to the point is a negotiation strategy. You may not realize that when you sit with a buyer and you sit with somebody and they're like, hey, just get to the point. That's negotiation. You are going over what your terms are. Your terms are to give a presentation. Your terms are to ask questions. And if you're a homeowner or a buyer or a client, and you're like, I don't want to do that. Like, look, at the end of the day, what you need to know is everybody's got roles and responsibilities. When I do anything and someone's like, hey, I don't want to know what's all involved, it freaks me out. Hey, Scott, I want you to come train my people. Great, let's go over what's included. No, I don't want that, just come out and train. No. Hey, Scott, I want you to do some consulting. Great, let's talk about the scope of work. No, we don't need that. Just come out and work with me. No. Like, you can't go to the doctor and just get medication without a prescription. Like, they want to like, hey, what's wrong with your elbow? Hey, what's wrong with your shoulder? And people say, well, you're a salesperson, you're not a doctor. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm doing work for you. Like, scope of work is scope of work. Like, don't complain to me, I'm not a doctor, but I'm not going to sit here and have some problems later on down the road because you wouldn't let me have a conversation with you, right? So California will tell you that one of the biggest problems that happens, especially around construction, is lack of scope of work. And if you don't have a conversation with somebody about your scope of work, especially if you're a contractor, then what you're going to find is this. You're going to have problems. So people are like, don't just give me a presentation, just get to the point. Hey, the point is I need to have a little bit of information from you. And this is probably the dude or the chick that has all the information that they want. You're going to sit down and they're going to say, I want this piece of equipment or this piece of work done, and I want your labor broken down, and I want parts, and like, it doesn't work that way. Thanks for playing though, okay? No, your role to get through this is to ask questions. Just like it's my role, right? I do not make a recommendation without asking the proper questions. I need to know what the problem is. I need to know if I can solve it. In a consulting gig, if I can't solve it, like No, I'm not doing it. So I have to ask questions. In a training gig, I need to ask questions so I can tell you, yeah, I can take care of that, or you have unrealistic expectations. If you're selling anything, if you're not asking questions, you're just going to get into a lot of trouble. I can think of a lot of times where I get somewhere and people are like, hey, I don't want the questions, I don't want the presentation, I just want a price. Like, sorry, don't do it. Why? Because I'm going to now sit down with you for an hour and a half and we're going to get down to the end and then you're just going to stand up and walk away or show me to the door. Like, this is not, let's make a deal. This is not some game show. Like, this is my life. I got things that I got to do. And I'd rather hang out with my bird, right? My bird, you know, she's probably about the size of a small chicken. She's African gray. Like, so when people are like, hey, I want to play games, I'm like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to go write a book or I'm going to go shoot some YouTube videos. What I'm not going to do is play the game that you think that I'm playing because I'm an evil salesperson or an evil consultant. Like, it doesn't work that way. Over time, people are going to disarm you with rapport. I mean, it's like, it is a sales process. It's a reverse sales process. And just be aware that a lot of times when people go, hey, I'm just trying to get the best deal, it's what you would do, right? Well, be aware of this. I wouldn't do it the way that you're doing it. Right? So like what they're trying to do is paint you into a corner with a question where you can only answer yes. My answer has always been, but this isn't the way that I do it. It may be that you're looking for a good deal, but this isn't the way that I'm going to do it. And here is a thing that you need to know is when people are telling you to just do your best, you're negotiating against yourself. Just do your best. Like, I'm not going to give you any information. Like, I didn't come here to play poker. Right? I'm not playing blackjack. I'm not running a slot machine. I'm not here. You got to give me some sort of direction you want to go. I need a vector. Just do your best. Yeah. My best is comes with information from you. Well, no. Just do your best. Like, okay. I have like 22 questions I got to ask, and to get my best, that's what's going to unlock that. No. Just do your best. I would love to do business with you. If you want to answer my questions, that's fantastic. I'll come out and we can do this all over again. But until then, I got to go. I got stuff I got to do. So are we going to work together or am I leaving? You're probably leaving. And it's probably the best bet ever for you because you're going to get taken to the cleaners. If you have a price matching clause in your business, there should be something in writing that says that they have to show you what it looks like. I don't know how many times people tell me, Scott, I got a bid. You're at 10 grand. I got somebody at 7. Great, show it to me. Oh, I can't do that. That's unethical. Sorry, I wish I could help you. I remember a couple of times that I'd be out on calls and people would say, hey, I had a bid from XYZ company. And I knew people that worked there. I'm like, great, who came out for you? Joe? And they go, what are you doing? I'm like, we're calling Joe. Why? Because if he gave you that type of price, I'm going to tell him he's an a-hole. They're like, are you serious? Yep, I am. And then I make the phone call. Joe, sitting here with the Smiths. Yeah. Want to say hi to him? Yeah. Hey, they're telling me that you left him a bid for like $7,000. No? Oh, really? What'd you do? We're sitting here. I'll tell you where I'm at. Tell me where you're at. I just turned into a whole conversation, right? So like, hey, you want to play games? I am the king game player. I could do the same thing back. And this right here is why you should join my email publication. Go to that URL above my head. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. Okay, let's go through the list. Now that I got a bunch of content out of the way, I got list 1 out of the way. Now we're going to go to list 2. 1, don't be desperate. Right? At the end of the day, what you need to know is desperation's a sneaky clone. Chief O'Grady said that in Super Troopers. Still true today. Great movie, by the way. Number 2, have confidence. Confidence in your product and your service. Confidence that if you walk away from a deal, you'll get another one. It's sales, it's business. If you're looking hard enough, you'll find another deal. Number 3, have a basic presentation and an extended presentation. I will tell you that every time that I have done any type of deal where I haven't done my explanation, where I haven't done some sort of a presentation, it's bitten me in the butt. And people who are desperate will feel like you've taken advantage of them, and they will complain and they will cause you problems. So desperate people are dangerous in the world of business and in the world of sales. Number 4, ask really good questions. Ask really good questions. And so vague information is vague on purpose, right? Somebody gives me a vague answer. Hey, care to expand? Nope. Okay. Well, tell me when you want to. I'll definitely come back, or we could do a Zoom call, or we could do a phone call, but we're not going to continue. I do need your help. Discovery means discovery. You need to discover a few things. You need to ask some questions. You can get this through doing some check-ins. tell me about what you're thinking of this. What would you like? You know, what direction would you like to take this? What feature is important to you? What benefit are you after? And if they don't want to tell you, like, look, I didn't come here to play poker. I didn't come here to play blackjack. I came here to help you. If you like my help, I'd love to give it to you. I'm a little bit more than most people. Tone down however you need to. And then, you know, the confirmation questions really need to be built off of a checklist. You should have a checklist, and you should be taking notes. And just be aware that Jim Camp talks about 3+ing. You should be able to ask the same question 3 to 5 different ways so that if somebody doesn't want to answer, you can ask it again in a different manner. And here's the thing. If somebody doesn't want to answer me, I'm not moving on to the next question, especially if it's information that I need. Right? So like for consulting, round number, let's say it's a big gig. Might go, hey, something like this probably would range between $100,000 and $500,000. You good with that? Is that what you're expecting? I had a guy come back and go, no, I was hoping for more. I was like, I could do that too. But like if you're not figuring out a direction that you can take your conversations, you're going to have some issues, especially if you ask a question and they don't answer. You've lost some control there. And especially when it comes to budget, people get really fuzzy. Like if you're going to go buy a house, you kind of got to have a budget to give to the real estate agent. If you're going to buy a big product like a car, you kind of have to have some sort of a budget to figure out what that car is going to be. If you're going to do terms, you kind of have to figure out, you know, what kind of payment you're going to be. These are uncomfortable questions for some people because they feel like, hey, as an evil salesperson, you're going to try to take advantage of me. That's not the case. Like I need a direction. I need a vector. I need to know where I'm going. Number 6, confirm items before rolling a price. Right? Hey, here's everything we talked about. You want the alpha program, the beta program, the Charlie program, the Delta program, the Echo program, correct? Yep. Any reason why you wouldn't want them? Nope. I love the alpha, beta, Charlie, Delta, Echo. I love all those programs. They all sound fantastic. Call out the situation for what it is. That is number 7. Sometimes you just have to say, hey, look, I feel like there's a lot going on right here. Feels like we're butting heads. Feels like we're not getting off to a good start. Feels like there's something missing. It sounds like this isn't something you're happy with. It looks like you want to take this a different direction. Let them correct you. Great, let them correct you. Number 8, tell people, can't do that. Wish I could. Wouldn't it be nice if I could make that happen? Chris Voss has got his own version. I'll leave that up to him. That's his content. Number 9, you know what? Here's the thing. If you're going to negotiate with me and it's going to get all the way down to the bottom, it's today pricing. There's no reason for me to come back. You've got the best deal. You've got the best product. You've got everything that you got. I have nothing left. I've given you everything that I got nothing left to give. That's it, right? That's it. And then number 10, know when you've hit your magic number. Like if you ever watch military videos and fuel hits a certain level and like the warning lights come on, they call that bingo. Like you need to know your bingo number when it comes to doing deals and problems that you're going to have. And sometimes I'm going to give you 2 bonus ones. Number 11, when you've hit bingo, like and you're there or you're approaching it, sometimes you need to take a break. Go to the bathroom, get a glass of water, go to the car, call a friend at the car, call a manager at the car, run down the items, sit in your car, make some notes, take your notes with you, whatever you got to do. Go to the lobby, I don't know, wherever you're at. But, you know, sometimes you just need to think for a minute and figure out what's going on. And then number 12, walk away. Like there is a point. The people who negotiate the hardest, want the biggest discount, want all the things, they want the world for nothing. They are the first to complain. They are the first to go write a bad review. They are the first to tell everybody the type of deal that they got. They are the first to make your life a living hell. And you don't need it. Let your competition have it. Let them deal with the problems that are going to come from them. You know, and then last of all, when appropriate, follow up. When appropriate, follow up. Like some of the times, like you're going to walk away from a deal and be like, I'm not doing it. You don't need to follow up on that one. But if it is, and it is appropriate, you can follow up. And hopefully you can close as many deals as you can the first sit. 1 sit close, 1 call close, whatever you want to call it. Just realize these are all things that probably took me 22 years to learn. And my version may not exactly be your version. And my version may be a little bit more aggressive than what you would do. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing. When it comes down to it, you do got to get good at the games that are played. And you do have to get really good at like, this is what I'm willing to do and this is what I'm not willing to do. But you don't want to be a jerk about it. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button. Click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this with a video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.